Nusreta Sivats is a survivor and a living reminder of the concentration camps in Bosnia, where thousands of Muslims were tortured, raped and slaughtered. She was at the notorious Omarska camp, today a mining company, that back in 1992 was the scene of the world's most heinous crime, genocide. Nusreta was a prominent judge in the Bosnian city of Prijedor, a thriving, ethnically mixed city. She grew up there. Her family is Muslim, but Nusreta says religion never defined her.
I'm not into religion. I don't go to the mosque, but I know who I am.
And who she was made her a target. In March 1992, Bosnia's ethnic populations were fighting for power. Bosnia's Serbs, their Orthodox Christians, wanted a state without Muslims. And they began a brutal campaign of ethnic cleansing. They shelled cities, they torched homes, and they turned 2 million people into refugees. Many who didn't flee were executed or forced into concentration camps. Nusreta thought that she had time to get out, but the Bosnian Serbs came for her.
I didn't know where they were taking me, but I had a bad feeling. When I saw the gates, I realized.
Omarska. She was one of 37 women prisoners. Their job was to serve 3,000 men one meager meal a day. From the kitchen windows, Nusreta watched Bosnian Serb guards force a Muslim prisoner to rape a young Muslim woman in front of everyone.
He was begging them, please don't make me do this. She could be my daughter. The Serbs were enjoying it. It's horrible to watch. I'm haunted by this.
At night, the women slept in this room above the kitchen.
When we got back to our room, we could see the blood everywhere.
They would mop the floor to make a clean place to sleep. Then, in the dark, on the stairs, there were footsteps.
Guards would take women out of the room at night.
Many were raped. They would return quiet.
Everybody was afraid to speak.
Throughout the night, Nusreta heard screams from this house across the yard. It was one of the torture chambers, where Muslim men were sexually mutilated and beaten beyond recognition.
Their heads were so swollen you could not tell where their nose was, or the mouth or eyes.
Nusreta knew that her time was coming, because no one left Omarska alive.
When you are in line to die, your only wish is that you are not tortured and that you die of a bullet.
After almost 2 months, there was a miracle. Journalists exposed the Bosnian Serb camps, and Nusreta was released. But even after the war ended in 1995, it took years for her to muster the courage to come home.
I was hoping things would change for the better.
But they hadn't, because the Bosnian Serbs were still in control. Nusreta says a Serb took her job, and that another had been living in her apartment wearing her clothes and dining on her grandmother's china. and that today guards from Omarska walk the streets freely.
Pitala sam se vrijedi li to uopće ovdje.
I ask myself, is it worth it to deal with this day after day?
Nusreta decided to stay, but 13 years after the genocide she has little hope for reconciliation, and she remains haunted by Omarska.
Not a day goes by without me thinking about it, without some detail popping in front of my eyes.
The genocide is over, the guns are silent. But for Nusreta Sivats, the war never ended.